over Earth, with a note about how uh, how how much it is interesting to see the Earth from that altitude. As we mentioned, Jeff Williams tweeting at Astro Jeff. Tim Copra is also on Twitter at Astro_Tim, and Tim Peake tweeting at Astro_Tim Peake. Once again, a live look inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room. Members of the team returning. The station is moved out of the range of communications with Mission Control, and that's the opportunity for the folks on the staffing the consoles here to stretch their legs and come back with something to drink and a snack. The station will be back in range of communications through another satellite in the Tracking Data Relay satellite system in less than 2 minutes. Most International Space Station crew members spend time looking out the window. You've heard many of them say it's one of their favorite things to do. A lot of times they take a camera with them to record what they see, and lately crew members have been using social media to share some of what they see with those of us following them on Earth. Members of the Expedition 47 crew fall into that category. Flight engineer Jeff Williams, who is tweeting at Astro_Jeff, shared this picture of some glaciers in the far southern South America, in the Patagonia region. His crewmates had their cameras pointed out the window as the station moved a little further to the east. Tim Peake was looking down as they made a pass over South Africa. He sent out this pretty dynamic view of the Cape of Good Hope, with even a thought about Eddie Izzard running marathons across that particular stretch. Nearby to that location, Tim Copra also tweeted a picture of Mozambique and some of the coral reefs in that area of southeastern Africa. Tim Peake recently also got a view of something he'd been looking for and hadn't seen earlier in his trip, and that is Australia. The station doesn't actually go so far south as to Antarctica, but he could get this view of it as they flew nearby. Tim Copra also got a view of something that's a little more recognizable, the harbor at Sydney, Australia, and kind of an interesting look down into to that activity. For Jeff Williams, who is now in his third long-duration flight on the International Space Station, he got this oblique view with a sun glint through the clouds over Earth, with a note about how much it is interesting to see the Earth from that altitude. As we mentioned, Jeff Williams tweeting at Astro Jeff. Tim Copra is also on Twitter at Astro_Tim, and Tim Peake tweeting at Astro_Tim Peake.
So the top triangle would be a day, right? And each line would represent a week. Right. So it's not difficult to understand. This is the image that many of the people use in secret societies use to represent the sun. So why? Well, now, if I take that image, the sequence of the sun turning, if I take that sequence of the sun up and down, and I put it in an orbit around this man, now there's no trickery here. I've just simply taken that image and I'm rotating it around. Now watch how the sun follows those lines. So after each rotation, the sun now is on the next line and now makes a new triangle. So what does this teach us? That there is perfect precision in the motion of the sun and the moon and the stars. That there is a creator. That is undeniable that there is a creator. And they're trying to hide that from us. You see, they give us nonsense that the earth is a spinning ball. But we know that all the trees grow towards the sunlight. So how does this work? This tree's at the equator. 6 months later, when the sun's on the opposite side, how do trees grow towards the sunlight? I'll tell you, gravity. Gravity makes the tree grow upright. The trees, plants grow towards the light. How does that model and the plants, nature that we see around us, how does it fit onto the ball? It does not. We are simply being lied to. They don't want you to see the perfection in creation. Because there's a creator. And that is undeniable.
week is working with the European scientists on the Mars experiment, which is this apparatus which was delivered to the station some time ago and is taken out for experiment operations for the scientists who are looking into how astronauts' muscle and skeletal systems work. Tests will be conducted early, middle, and late, roughly speaking, in the course of an astronaut's mission in order to look at any differences in how their bodies are responding to spending time in this environment. Today's operations with Mars are specifically designed for operations with the ankle